How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Limit of Perception. I'm one of your hosts, Greg, and this is the other host, Terry, and we're here to talk about all things life. Listen, Terry, we've been dealing with this thing, COVID, for a long, long time now. It just seems like I can't remember a time without COVID. It seems like, and it's just like, I used to walk uphill in my bare feet, but what is this COVID? Is it a sort of a punishment for everybody, for our souls, for our sins? What is going on with this thing?
Well, spiritually, we're just going through spiritual evolution. Um, Punishment, nothing's really a punishment. Everything's always a lesson, and that's the whole point of spiritual evolution. So, to put it in more detail, we have three bodies in our existence. We have the physical body, and the physical body is related to actions, and we have the astral body, and the astral body is related to our emotions. And
Wow.
we have the etheric body, which is related to our thoughts, which is where our higher self projects to us. And ironically, those three things, thoughts, words, and actions, is how we build karma. And karma resides in our chakras. So simply put, we are using our higher two bodies, our astral and our etheric bodies, which are our thoughts and our emotions, to project or create a reality in our physical body, which in a lot of people's cases are a virus or a sickness, but they actually don't exist. It's a manifestation of your thoughts and your emotions that you need to overcome, or karma that you need to pay, or again, a lesson, not a punishment. And once you achieve that lesson or overcome that lesson and learn that lesson, you move forward, you progress. Because again, this is spiritual evolution.
How do you see karma in your eyes? What does karma look like through your eyes? Is it something bad that you need to wipe the slate clean with, or is it something that you need to balance out, like a scale? What do you think about that? What's karma to you?
Karma is all about balance.
Balance.
So the problem with people is that they see like they're going through a bad breakup. They've been with a girl for 10 years or a wife for 10 years, and they see it as an annoying time, a hard time. They're dealing with a lot of drama that's going on, and they don't see it as a lesson. And that's the problem, because nothing happens to us, it happens for us. So if you look at it as a lesson that needs to be learned and that good is going to come from it, you're going to spiritually grow, evolve, even physically evolve, right?
Yeah.
From a bad time, you're going to learn things from it. If you look at it from a positive light instead of a negative light, that's how you get through it. And you get through it again through balance. So one thing that I like to tell people is if you can stay positive in a negative situation, you win.
Right. And it also says in our name, perception. Perception's all about it. And also, once you're going through it, it's like the whole world's caving in on you. And at that point, when you're in the middle of going through it, again, about perception, I like to perceive myself a year in the future, looking back at this moment right now and thinking how I'm going to look at this moment right now and see that it's going to be okay. And I might even just laugh about it at that point. So again, it brings it back to perception, it's the limit of perception, which is all in our name, and which is, you can see how the common thread, it's going to go through everything. It really does tie into everything, like our DNA. And it's a pretty amazing little path that I think everybody goes through. So
One thing I'd add to that is you want to be careful to always live in the now, because if you're not living in the now, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you, to learn your lessons, to receive or see your synchronicities, and then also appreciate your hard work to get to that point. So an example of this would be if I had my earbuds in right now and we're on a podcast and you're asking me a question and I keep asking you what,
yeah.
I'm not living in the now. So I'm not a part of this process. I'm not learning anything from this process. I'm not getting better at it or anything.
Right.
Nothing positive is coming out of it because I'm not living in the now. And another example would be as far as living in the now and not projecting out into the future, is the fact that if you're not enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? So let's say you work your whole life and you always wanted to be a manager, a production manager, or whatever kind of manager you wanted to be. You finally got that promotion that you've been working for so many years, you went to school for and everything.
Right.
And all you do is you work. You're in meetings all day long. You never have a chance to sit back and reflect and enjoy the future fruits of your labor. It didn't become what you thought it would be because you're not living in the now. You're allowing them to control your now, right? So living in the now is powerful because that's where we get all of our lessons. That's where we get all of our synchronicities for guidance. And that's where we get all our appreciation for what has happened.
Do you think living in the now is hard? I think it's a lot harder than what it says, because for me it's hard living in the now, because it's like, how do you time your now as by seconds, by thoughts, again, a perception, it just all the way through again. It's just, how do you time, I guess, time your now? Do you, what do you think?
Good question. Yeah. So you got to remember we do have forces against us. And by forces, I mean other beings on earth that are also going through spiritual evolution that might have taken an alternate path to raising vibration and maybe creating negative energy. And one example of this would be distractions. So you have a cell phone. How many times in the last few years have you gone to a movie theater with your loved ones or whatnot? You look around and everybody's on their phone in the middle of the movie, but they paid $30 for the movie, right? So are they living in the now? They're not. They're being distracted by electronical devices that they created to make us focus on other things than live in the now. And the reason living in the now is important is not just for appreciation and gratitude, but also that's if we live in the now, we're paying attention to everything around us in our surroundings, and our spirits and our angel guides and our ascended masters, they give us synchronicities or signs that guide us on the correct path if we're able to see it. And you'll never see that if you're constantly paying attention of thinking in the future, or you're thinking in the past of what could have been. You're not focused on now and what you're doing now. So you're going to miss those signs.
And another good way to concentrate on now is, of course, meditation. And I feel the more you meditate and the more you actually zone into what, your body's telling you, you can actually catch up and live in the now instead of living in the past. Or, I mean, yeah, it's a lot easier living in the past, because you've been there before, but the future is a whole other story. So, and speaking of the future, I mean, I think this is going to be fun times doing this podcast or a vlog, with you. And I think it's going to take us through a lot of different crazy questions and a lot of crazy stuff out there. And I can't wait for all our viewers to join in too. I mean, we're now on Instagram, of course, easy enough. Limit of perception. Twitter, limit of perception. Right? Is that, at Twitter? So at Instagram. So anything to add? Other than it's gonna be a fun time. I mean, and of course we're gonna have guests on, right? Different guests at different times, and maybe do a live show here and there. So just
You
start
guys talking, sometimes plus one, right?
plus
Yeah.
one. Yep, it's gonna be fun. So with that being said, I can't wait for the next one. I'm already to do number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're pumped to ready to get these things rolling out for you guys, and we'll see you next time. Anything else to say, man?
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. Have a good night.